G'day guys, it's Paul from Polyman Astro here, and welcome to the second episode of Drizzled. If you're new here and you haven't seen the first episode of Drizzled, it's where I take a closer look at one of my images to try and find some hidden gems lurking in the background, and the idea is hopefully it's going to inspire you to have a closer look at your images. So let's dive in. Today we're going to look at IC2944, otherwise known as the Running Chicken Nebula. I don't see a running chicken in this nebula, especially at the focal length that I use and the camera that I use. I see a Running Chicken McNugget Nebula, which is what I like to call it. But we're going to take a closer look at this image and find some things lurking in the background. I've also got a little treat on this one because I have used one of the telescopes in Chile to have a closer look in this area, because I did find something quite interesting in the nearby area. And in fact, it's probably this image that really made me want to do this series, because there's things hiding in the background, beautiful things hiding in the background, and the chance to use a telescope in Chile to have a closer look was awesome. So we're inside PixInsight now, and let's have a look at IC2944, the running chicken. Here's my take on the running chicken. This isn't the best data, and this was only just a quick process for this video. So it's not perfect, but it does the job of showing us the general layout, at least for my focal length. So you can see the main body of the chicken here. And down off screen, down the bottom left here, is what I imagine supposed to be the head of the running chicken. Okay, so it is quite a pretty region of space. There are some really nice shock fronts running through down the bottom here. If I zoom in and we have a look at those, so they're quite pretty. There's some more kind of dark dust and some shock fronts around this side of the nebula as well, which is quite nice. But the first thing to note in IC2944 that most people are probably already aware of are these dark little globules in here, and they're known as Bock globules. They were first discovered in the 1940s. Bock globules, not these ones. These particular globules were discovered in the 1950s by a chap named Thackeray. So here's a closer look at those globules, and they're dark regions of gas and often associated with star forming. But from what I understand, there's no evidence that there's star forming happening inside these particular globules. But interesting nonetheless. With a larger aperture telescope and some good skies, you can really get some nice images of those globules. But what I really want to show us today is an object that's just here, a quite small object, and if we zoom in on that object in my image, which is quite noisy unfortunately, we can see it's a little planetary nebula. And it is a planetary nebula by the name of PK294 0.1. And you can see, even in my image, even with my noisy image, that there is a green inner oxygen shell and an outer red hydrogen shell, which is quite nice. Even at my resolution we can resolve that, but not much structure within. I did, once I discovered that this object was there and I was fascinated by it, I decided, well, this is the perfect time to use something like Chilescope and one of their big telescopes, the 500mm Newtonian telescope. So here is the data I gathered with Chilescope, just in that corner, and you can see PK294 0.1. And again, we can zoom in and have a bit of a look, and we can see there's a bit more structure from a larger aperture telescope. But we can definitely see that in a blue-green oxygen inner shell surrounded by the outer red hydrogen shell. And it looks like there might even be some kind of offshoots on either end here, which is quite nice. And then maybe an inner band running through here. It's hard to tell. With a lot more data and maybe even an even larger telescope, like a 1 meter telescope, we might really be able to resolve the details in there. But it's quite a nice find, just off the running chicken. So if you've taken a shot of the running chicken, why don't you have a look, see if you can find this little planetary nebula there. There's always something in our images lurking in the background that we can have a look at.
So just a quick one from me today. I just wanted to show off that planetary nebula, PK294 0.1. If you do a quick Google search for that nebula, chances are you're going to find that the first few hits are mine. And that's not to blow my own trumpet or anything, it's just to say that it doesn't look like most people have even noticed it's there. I mean, it's tiny and it is overshadowed by the running chicken, so it's not surprising. So if you've taken a shot, have a look, see if it's there. Did you get more resolution than I did? I'd love to hear in the comments. I'd love to see pictures of this that you've taken. If you've got an 8-inch Newtonian or an 8-inch SCT and some reasonably dark skies, I'd imagine you'd get some wonderful resolution from this nebula if you gave it enough time. So again, in the comments, let me know. And just a final note, if you're not subscribed and you'd love to see more episodes like Drizzled here, then hit that button, ring the bell, you know the deal. Thanks for watching.